Hey, tonight's shave is going to be with this CravingShaving brush. Kind of a nice blue color and black up near the knot and white down here. And, it's got a Manchurian knot in it from Elite Razor. I've had it soaking for a few minutes. I'm trying to relax that knot a little bit, so I'm going to work it today. Maybe it's had 5 uses, 6, something like that. The blade is a pretty young Gillette Silver Blue. Just had about 6 uses, it looks like. And we've got 2 premieres tonight for me. This Karve Christopher Bradley has an open comb plate that's new to me. I just got it in. And it's the C open comb. I've tried the A and the B. And they were wonderful. The A was just terrific. So we're going to try the C now. The D is as high as I go for comfort in general usage, and so this might be as high as I might go with the open combs if things are equivalent. I think the Karve folks said that the open comb kind of makes it one step higher, and I have found that to be true myself. But I find that I kind of like the lack of the blade you feel more of, but the other parts of the metal, the top cap and the base plate, are minimized in terms of feeling. And so it almost feels like more of a shave than with the solid bar. I'm going to do some more evaluation, but it almost looks like I prefer the open combs better than the solid bar, but we'll just see. That's just an early guess. Here's the other highlight of the night. I just got this in today. Barrister and Mann 42. And this, since it's just new from them, it's their Excelsior base, which is new. My favorite base so far is the Reserve. But this was a limited edition, and I thought, you know what? I like tea scents. I'm a nerd, and I like the Guide to the Galaxy movie that this is based off of. And it's got notes of petunias, ambergris, if I'm pronouncing that right, tea, and Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster, which is basically a sweet lemon type scent. Some of those are references to the movie. All right. And what do I get? This is brand new. What do I get when I smell it? I do get a little bit of the tea. I don't get tons of lemon, very much at all, and I do get some florals, but it's like it's being balanced off. It's not super strong, and so this is a good sign. Now, who knows when it's wet, but I'm encouraged, because if it's too florally, I'm going to have to pass it on to somebody else. So this is the Excelsior base. I have tried the Excelsior base before in Vespers. The scent of that one wasn't for me. However, I like the performance. It was good. But I prefer Reserve a little bit better, and actually I may like Glissant a little bit better than Excelsior. You know, everybody's got their own preferences, and nothing wrong with that. But let's try Excelsior here tonight. My usual lather bowl. You can see files for that if you have a 3D printer in the description. And let's go ahead and put this. I'm going to put the blade in the razor, and then just give my face a splash. And we'll start working up the lather. All right, let's take a quick look at the gap here. It's noticeable with the C there. And something you have to pay attention to, the gap is not the only measurement that's important. If you draw a line between the top cap and the highest point of the bar here, that can tell you where the blade rests in that, according to that line. Does it stick out past that line? Is it right at the line? Is it back? That's called exposure. So positive exposure would be the blade sticking out any amount. Neutral is the blade right on that line, the edge of the blade. And then negative exposure is with the blade retracted. If there's enough of a gap, even if the blade can be retracted and still shave you well, if there's enough of a gap and other factors like that. But let's just try this guy out, see how he does. did splash my face with water. I'm going to get rid of most. The water here at this location is fairly soft. It's not hard like my home water. I'm going to shake most of the water out here because this knot will still contain quite a bit of water. All right. Here we go. Uncertain as to what's going to happen. Let's do 40 seconds. If we end up with tons of lather, so be it. But that might be a good starting point. Okay, in a second it's going to roll around to 40. So then we'll go from 40 to 20. And there we go. Started off a little draggy, but then moisture's come in now. It's not immediately jumping up to get all bubbly and overflowy. Just medium pressure, mild to medium pressure is what I use. Okay, 20 more seconds, we're halfway through. This base doesn't get all high and puffy like some more traditional ones do. 4 more seconds. And there we go. Now, anything else come? Oh yeah, the lemon's jumping out just a little bit more. Nice, nice. That's encouraging. The florals aren't getting all dominant and stuff. Pretty cool. All right. So here's what it looks like with 40 seconds of soap loaded up with a fairly dry brush. So we're going to mix it around in the bowl for a little bit. Starting out kind of pasty, and that's all right. Yep, kind of a thickish paste. Just wanted to work that just a little bit to see how it was going to come up. There's a few soaps out there that you need to brush for a little while before you start adding water. 1 teaspoon. I almost looked up my notes for the Excelsior base, but then I remembered that the only one I had played with it with was a sample. And so that wasn't going to give me a load time measurement. It was only going to be useful if I wanted to get the soap together via the quarter teaspoon measure. And I was going to load time it. So we're just going to start as if I don't have a recipe in mind. This is a base. If it behaves like the Vespers did, as I recall, it's going to stay kind of gluey looking. One of his goals for this base, Will, the creator and main guy at Barrister and Mann, one of his ideas was to incorporate a lot of the great things about Reserve and Glissant, and try to just take the best of everything and make it into a soap. So a lot of people really like it, and I like it a lot. All right, so now we've got 3 teaspoons in this. That is nice. I like the way the florals are not, they're coming up with the lemon, with the gargle blaster. And so it's not a feminine scent. The tea is not as pronounced now that it's in lather form, but I'm gonna smell for that next. 3 teaspoons in it so far of water. As usual, the lather looks terrific. Great creaminess to it. It's still too dry, or too dry looking, say that. Add a little bit of water. Half a teaspoon at a time now. Don't want to overdo it. And since the bases kind of look different, you often will have to create a different set of milestones or landmarks with your soap's consistency and texture. You might pull the wad of soap out and look for a certain length of peak before it breaks. You may pull it up like this and, see how does it easily flop off the brush and land in the bowl. You may squeeze it between your fingers and rub a little bit and see how well you feel the ridges of your fingerprints. There are different signs you can look for so that you can know when your lather is done being watered. And that may vary depending on the soap base. The lather's looking terrific right now. And this is not as gluey as I remember the Excelsior being. I mean, look at that. That's not gluey at all. It's kind of a normal looking lather. Now the peaks are really standing up, and they're easily standing up on their own. And this guy has a little bit of elasticity to him. But with a lot of soaps, this means I need to keep adding water. Let us feel. Yeah, nice slickness here. Who knows? Maybe this I'll enjoy more than my sample of the Vespers for some reason. I don't know. Just have to see how everything happens. I do feel like I can go ahead and put in some more water. So now we've got 4 teaspoons in it. I feel like I'm going to go ahead and put in another half. Can't remember if I have sampled this scent or not. I don't know if maybe I looked at the description and I thought, lemon, florals, no thank you. Maybe at the time I didn't know that I liked tea scents. I've always liked hot tea and iced tea, but maybe at the time something put me off. So maybe I've never tried 42, even in the older, more original base. And so it could be that I'm really glad I didn't pass up this purchase. See, now take a look at this texture here. Very different than what I showed you a second ago. One big blob with very few contours. See, it's starting to smooth out. It's getting more hydrated, more elastic. This lather just looks terrific. I don't want to overhydrate. Man, this looks good. This is getting all over me too. Really slick here. One nice thing, see, I don't actually have very much on my fingers here, but when I move my thumb across my fingers, there are some soaps where it'll wipe away the soap and you'll immediately notice a big difference in slickness as you move back across the empty fingertips. This one, however, it's leaving that residual slickness on there, and I can go back and forth, and it's still very, very nice. So let's see. I'm going to add a little bit more water. This feels great. This shade may redefine my beliefs about the Excelsior base. We'll do a little bit more than a half a teaspoon. Sometimes I get in there and scrub really good one of the reasons, and kind of put it in splay in a bigger way than usual. One of the reasons to do that is if you have a knot that likes to keep water in it, and you don't get soap into that deep water in the knot, then sometimes when you're applying the lather, you go into splay and it releases that water, and now your soap has an extra half a teaspoon of water on your face than you thought. And I've had it wash my lather, just thin it down so much it was useless. And so that's one of the reasons. Sometimes I'll get in there and grind just a little bit extra to make sure that it gets in there. And then sometimes I'll do a push down. Helps it mix around just in different ways. It also, especially for boar brushes, shows some of the lather up into the bristles. All right. I'm liking this. I'm liking the scent because I was getting some of it, like from this distance here. I was getting some of it up in my nose, and that's great. Man, tons of lather. So 40-second load. At first, it looks like I've just got plenty, and I'm sure that's the way it's going to work out. All right. Quick splash on my face. This may still be a little bit on the dry side, relatively speaking, but let's see what happens. Yeah, it probably could use just a little bit more water. So let me find my syringe. I don't have my sprayer, so I'll have to just kind of, and then I turn this way so that gravity can be my friend and help that water come back to the tips instead of going in down into the root and coming out near the handle. Dang it. Well, I've got plenty of lather to spare, so right now just using the tips mainly. So it's a little pokey. It's not prickly, just kind of shovey as I switch directions, it's not really comfortable. If I go into splay, it's fine on my neck, but on my cheeks when I change directions, see, it's pokey kind of like a synthetic. And so if this backbone doesn't relax more, I'm probably just going to pass this brush on to somebody who likes a lot of backbone. So yeah, I'm going to throw the rest of this half a teaspoon into the lather, and I'll mix it up more on the next pass. And I believe it might even need another half teaspoon after that. All right. But we'll try this out and see. Yeah, this scent's not putting me off at all. The lemon is strong. It's not a strong scent, okay, but within the scent profile that it is, I can smell the lemon clearly. But the tea is coming in and flattening it out just a little, kind of maturing it, keeping it from being so punchy and kind of hokey, like, hey, you're wearing lemons. The florals are probably doing something similar, just helping the scent to be more sophisticated. I'm not really picking out the florals very well, and I like that. So so far I'm really happy with this scent. Oh, that is good. Wow. It is just gliding through and cutting hairs with reckless abandon. It just feels really good. You definitely feel that hairs are being cut, but it's almost like what you're feeling is the hair being, let's pretend like this is a hair. you feel like maybe the hair's being touched and then it instantly gets cut. And so now that feeling of being touched is the only sensation you get, and then the blade moves on. And so there's no tugging at all, or pulling, or any kind of a bad feeling of the edge sliding across your face. So really happy with this new head as well. Oh, that's a creamy lather right there, folks. Wow. Cut myself the other yesterday's shave, so I'll have to watch out for that area right there. Fortunately, it's not really in my hair growth area, and I think that's why I kind of nicked myself, because that's not an area that is used to being shaven. Oh, we're a happy camper. Wow. Really, really happy with this blade and razor and the comb here. The aggression setting working perfectly. I mean, I am loving the A, the B, and the C here in the open comb. Wow, the A was more smooth, less blade feel, but just, it's hard to describe. There's just less of a contact patch on your face, and so it's almost like the blade is just moving in exactly the right way across the surface of your skin like it's supposed to be. A little bit more blade feel on this one. But to me, not aggressive at all. And that probably comes from the fact, let me see where my lens is. A lot of razors have a top cap that comes close to the razor blade's edge. Okay, it comes all the way up to the front here. And that's important because it's got to hold it down. But so many razors will stop their support at the bottom, maybe right here. But this one keeps going another 3 or 4 or 5 millimeters. And so it's within maybe 2 or 3 millimeters maybe of the edge of the blade, almost as close as the top cap. And so that little edge, there's very little to vibrate. And that vibration is what causes the sound as you're shaving. And that vibration also, obviously, if something's vibrating across the surface of your skin and it's a sharp edge, it's going to be smoother. Quieter it is, the more rigidly that edge is held, it's going to be more consistent and smooth as it goes across your skin, resulting in a more comfortable shave. And so my favorite razors are almost always the kind that have a bottom support that comes very close to the edge. All right, let me rinse this off. Wow. That's what I have to say. Number one, I am so glad I ordered this scent. I'm so glad I picked it up. 2, creaminess, smooth, silky feel as I rinsed everything away. Excellent secondary slickness. There's even a little bit still left right now. I didn't do a full rinse, but a lot of soaps would have dried up by now. This totally changes my opinion on Excelsior. Maybe I didn't give Vespers enough chance because I didn't like the scent as much, but wow, I am really impressed. I'm definitely gonna have to have a shootout now between Reserve and the Excelsior to really compare them, because I really like both. Now, I love the Glissant too. Maybe they're all winners. Maybe they're all tied. I don't know. But I'm impressed. Very cool. All right, so let us go back to the land of lather here. Oh, I put in a little bit more water here to slicken this up a little bit more. Slicken. So what does it look like now? Look at that. That's gorgeous. That is beautiful. Doesn't support its own weight. Stretches out long. Doesn't support its own weight. Looks like maybe this is where I like this particular soap to be. Now I'm going to try to make, yeah, see, look, it still needs a little bit more water. See, it's just a little on the dry side. And you can kind of see this pattern on my face right here? That's usually a good indicator. Let me find my little syringe here. I'm going to add some more water to the lather and then go back in and kind of mix that up a little bit. It's a little bit warm here. My sweat may come into the mix and fix everything. All right, let's try that. See, I think this brush is one of those that really needs to be soaked a little more, because I'm not getting that same pushy feeling, same backbone from this brush as I did in the first pass. I'm going to bet this is perfect to lather. We got plenty. Sorry about the noise of the faucet there. And here we go. Cross grain now. Just effortless. Excellent glide. Shaving with very good confidence on this. I don't feel like I'm really in any danger as long as I, don't do anything crazy. Clear away the non-shaveable stuff. It's no problem to go up into these areas and, just nice slickness all the way around. Very cool. The scent is not super strong as I'm shaving, but to me, and I do wish it were just a little bit stronger. That's kind of as usual. But with this scent, maybe I don't know that I want it to be super strong. So yeah, it is a little weak for me. It occurred to me, I wonder if the makers are thinking about people who, and I think a lot of people do this, they don't put enough water in their soap. And so it's kind of dry. It does get the job done. It's not as slick as it could be. And so that has a higher concentration of the soap to water. And so if they put that on their face, they might get more scent. And so for people like me who like it really slick and extra hydrated, we may get a weaker version of the scent payload. And so I wonder if that's true or not. Or maybe there's just not enough of a difference, Who knows? So my protest with some of these new bases, Holy Cows, new base, the Declaration Icarus, this is Excelsior. They're bringing in more post-shave aspects, moisturizers and butters and oils and things like that. Well, in this case, it happens to be, I think, really helping the actual shave itself and making it awesomely slick. My problem is that if you bring in all those things that are not soap, then I'm having to use more product in my shave. And even though I might have nicer skin afterwards, I think, to me, I'd rather buy a balm to do that. But this feels great. That rinse I just had was just extra luxurious, super slick, felt great. And when my face is down there in the rinse, I get a double portion of the scent because it's more concentrated. Very enjoyable. All right, let's lather up the third pass. And it looks like I'm going to have three more passes of lather in here. Brush is a lot more comfortable now than it was in the first pass. Still getting some poking. Kind of like the bristles are trying to do a pole vault. Jabbing into my skin as they switch direction. But we'll see if it relaxes over time. And I haven't used this knot very much. I got a clue as to the slickness of this soap as I rinse that first bit of soap off of my fingers, and oh, wow, that's slick and creamy at the same time. Probably don't even have to do my cheeks right here. Oh yeah, let's clear away. My neck likes with the grain, and it likes kind of oblique with the grain a little bit. So that's usually what I do. You have to take care here and not go too far past what I just did. And if I do that, everything is fine. Oh, I think I went over that cut area a little bit from yesterday. Yeah, that's all right. It'll heal up at some point. The tab edges of the blade here do stick out a little bit right there. Not the real cause of concern for some people, but it never has been an issue for me with any razor, pretty much. Maybe those are people who like to get under the nose and it bothers them. Obviously, I don't need to do that. So maybe that's why they like to have those tabs hidden. I'm going to rinse, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need to do any touch-ups. Looks really close cut. Excellent, excellent close cut today. So this C is in a wonderful place of good feel, but also really efficient cutting. It was easy to move across the skin. I wasn't really worried about razor burn or anything like that. It was confidence inspiring, yet I still got a really close cut. Closer than usual. This little spot right here, I usually see the tips, but a lot of them are cut even more flush than that, lower than that, which is exceptional. And this is a blade that is on its 7th use. So some people would have thrown it away by now, and it's still churning like crazy. And I don't even feel like the aggression is near a place that feels like it's too much for me. I believe I could still use this particular head, this C open comb, as on a daily basis if I wanted to. So that's a pretty cool feeling. I think I'm probably going to order the D. What I do is I like to get to where it's comfortable and then keep ordering until it's uncomfortable. And then I have that whole spectrum to try out, tell people about, compare, and then later on, if I discover, man, I never use the B solid bar, then maybe I'll sell it. That kind of thing. But wow, this C did such a great job. This part that was leftover irritation from yesterday is the only issue I have. Everything else feels great, looks great. Very, very nice. And obviously, because of this soap having post-shave type ingredients in it, face feels great. There's no drying, shrinking of the face when the shave's done now. All right, so we'll clean up and I'll report in a few more minutes. As I suspected, I did not have to load for 40 seconds at all. So maybe 25 seconds next time, because I've easily got 2 or 3 more passes of lather right here. The tea is a little bit lower in strength in a percentage of the accord here than the lemon. And the flower, the floral, the petunia, is kind of along there with the tea. And so I'm really happy about that. Maybe I wish the tea was a little bit stronger, but in general, I'm really happy with this. It's like a mature lemon, a sophisticated lemon, a twisted lemon that you're not quite used to having. And maybe for people who want maybe something citrusy but don't like an overly sweet lemon or an overly sour, pungent lemon, this might be a good one to go with, because that's definitely, for me, the dominant piece of the accord. And we've got tons of great lather here. And so this is the way. Quite a bit of water went into it. Pretty sure this is 5 teaspoons. Pretty wild. Very nice. So obviously I'll reduce the ratio of the loading time and the water at the same time next time. And we'll see if we can dial in something that's a little bit more conservation of soap, if you will. Told you how much water we used. This is how much soap we have. Very cool. All right. Here I am at the end of the shave. When I go back to the puck, the floral is more there. So you can kind of get a feel what to look for if you want to try to perceive that as a part of it. What a nice blend. The strengths that he used. Sure, maybe I might prefer a little bit more tea, like I said, but I love how the petunias and stuff are more, the florals are just a little bit more muted, and they're a supporting role. I love it when they're in that kind of role, and it's just not a normal lemon scent. So really happy I picked up the answer to everything in the universe right here. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Excellent. Lather bowl did great again. Really happy with that. Told you about the water. One last thing I wanted to show you. Since this head is pretty new, I can show you something about it. This is a brass razor, and as such, it will have a patina over time. I think maybe I got this one a year and a half ago. So this top cap is a year and a half. It has the patina of a year and a half. And this base plate, however, probably just has a patina of something very young. And I just wanted you to see the color difference. And there's the letter designation there and there. And so it's kind of a two-tone razor when it's assembled. I think it looks kind of cool. I could polish up the top cap and kind of bring it more in line with what's here, but nah. What I may do is actually polish it up just to get rid of the bead blasted finish, and then let the patina come in after that. Maybe polish it once a year, once every couple of years. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But once you polish it up, that bead blasted finish is gone. And so that's why I'm being a little bit slow in that decision, meditative, because I have seen the polished Christopher Bradley razors online, and they look really nice. I believe I'm going to be heading that way at some point. So anyway, terrific. This is the 3.5 inch handle. I like the look of a shorter handle just a little bit better, like maybe the 3.25 might be perfect in terms of appearance. But what this extra little bit gives me is a balance point that I really like. And so for that reason, I'm keeping a handle that may be a little bit longer than I might visually prefer. All right. I don't usually buy stuff at full retail, but this is a limited version You never know with this kind of thing when they're going to make more, if they're going to make more. Sometimes they respond. Like recently, Southern Witchcrafts had a Valley of Ashes scent, and they made a lot, but it sold out quickly. And it was kind of the rubbery, burning rubber type scent, and tar I think I picked up on, maybe some wood, cedar, that kind of thing. And I didn't like it quite enough to buy a full tub right away, but a lot of people did, and they responded by doing another run of it, which is awesome. I think that's great, but some people don't. And I decided to risk it this time. Decided to pay full retail. But I also like to do that sometimes, especially with this, because I'm supporting a small local vendor. He's super popular, Barrister and Mann. You know, he's really popular with a lot of people. But I like supporting his work, and so sometimes I don't mind paying full price. But I'm really glad I took the risk this time. Sometimes you can make up, some of your money when you sell it on the secondary market, but worked out great this time. I don't know, am I 10 minutes after the shave? And if I stop and I smell, I can still kind of smell the soap around me. It's hanging on. That's kind of nice. I don't think I'm going to put on any post-shave tonight, just to kind of get the experience. It doesn't tell you much about it because I have oily skin anyway, but I think I'll see how long I can smell it. So when I want efficiency, real tight efficiency, this seat plate is going to be what I turn to. When I want efficiency and still have it be pretty comfortable, not edgy at all. So it's a nice blend. You still get that blade feel, but like I said, it just feels like it's knocking those hairs down in a nice way, and then they're gone, and you don't feel any kind of bad feelings at all. So really cool. And you can give yourself a little bit of razor burn if you have a prior injury, but I think that's not the average case, at least for me anyway. So I am just super pleased. This Excelsior base, I'm going to look forward to using it. Yep, I'm going to have a Barrister and Mann shootout and compare the Excelsior with the Reserve and see how it stacks up. All right. We are very good on this end of the world. Nice. Everything, the razor, the soap, the brush was the weak point. This is that Manchurian, and it's got more backbone than I usually like, but that's okay. It's still young. We're going to keep working on it and see what happens. And anyway, we can pass it on to somebody who likes it if that's the case. I've got enough brushes. I'll live. All right. So I hope there was something here for you if you're curious about the 42 or the Karve Christopher Bradley open comb C plate. I hope there was something here that helped you out. So you take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Have a good night.